CM 365, all about Carnatic music.
Yesterday I had made a mention about the Vinta Ragas of Tyagaraja, and immediately the question came to me from Andrasika about what do I really mean by Vinta Ragas. The term Vinta means Vichitra or rare ragas created by Tyagaraja. And this term Vinta was given by Professor Sambamurthy to denote the entire class of ragas that were created by Tyagaraja for the first time. Now, if you look at the kind of ragas that existed earlier, we have many fine note ragams like Mohanam, Shuddha Danyasi, then Abogi, Hindolam, and so many such ragas as fine note scales which were created by the modal shift of tonic and other concepts. Now, after that, we see that Tyagaraja is probably one of the pioneer in terms of creating so many rare ragas by sheer permutation and combination. I was just trying to look into some of the methodologies that is adopted in terms of creating these Vinta ragas, and I thought I'll share that also with you here. After the 5-note ragam, we see that there have been quite a few 6-note ragams that Tyagaraja created. That is, in the Sampurna scale, in the 7 notes up and down, he just removes 1 note from the Arohana and the Avarohana to create a new ragam. For example, first we could take the ragam Suddha Simantini, which I was mentioning yesterday, as a janu of Todi. Sare ga ma pada sa sada pa bagari sa. Or another ragam, 6-note scale that he created, Malay Marutam. Sare ga pa da ni sa sa ni da pa gari sa. A janya of Chakravagam, where only the Madhyama is deleted. Another such 6-note ragam is Chandra Jyoti. Sare ga ma pa da sa sa da pa ma ga ri sa. Like this, we can see that by omission of a particular note from the Melagartha, a new raga emerges. The next concept of this is the asymmetrical way of doing it. For example, in Jagan Mohini we see a combination of 5 notes in the Arohanam and 6 in the Avarohanam, like sa ga ma pa ni sa sa ni pa ba ga ri sa shobillu sapta swara. Or another same example of a 6 and 5 note combination, sa ga ma pa da ni sa sa ni pa ma ga sa bahudari brova bharama. Now, the next way of creating a ragam has been just the deletion of 1 note from the Arohana and keeping the Avarohana intact. For example, I mentioned yesterday itself about the ragam Simhavahini. Sa ga ma pa da ni sa sa ni da pa ma ga ri sa. Coming back to this 5 and 6 scale, we also see another combination like sa ri ma pa da sa sa da pa ba ga ri sa, which is reverse of the earlier Bahudari, where I was saying it was a 6-5 combination. Now we see a combination of 5 and 6 here. Now, next approach, the methodology here is Arohana is Sampurna and the Avarohana has got only 5 notes. Example of this we could take is Saramati. Sa ri ga ma pa da ni sa sa ni da ma ga sa, where you saw that there are 7 notes in the Arohanam and 5 in the Avarohanam. The reverse of this we can see in the case of Kalyana Vasantam, where sa ga ma da ni sa sa ni da pa ma ga ri sa sa ga ma da ni sa sa ni da pa ma ga ri sa. So Saramati and this Kalyana Vasantam actually are exactly opposite in terms of the arrangement, where one had 7 notes in the ascent and 5 in the Avarohana, and reverse we saw 5 notes in the Arohana and 7 in the Avarohana in the case of Kalyana Vasantam. So 2 possible way of combining again. The next one is taking a very popular ragam and just adding one small note to it to bring in that radical difference in it. In this I could probably quote the example of Jayanta Shri Marugelara, where the powerful ragam Hindolam actually takes its major share, like Saga Madani Sa Sanida Magasa. That is the Arohana of Hindolam. Now what he does, Saga Madani Sa Sanida Pa Magasa. So he just adds that pa there to give it a new color. The next, of course, is the concept of Vakra Ragams, in which he seems to be a real master. Like, for example, Sama Panida Sa Sanida Pama Sa Kuntalavarali, where you saw that only the Arohanam was Vakra. Now, both Arohanam and Avarohanam Vakram, that too in a very complex way he has created. For example, the Ragam Bindu Malini, Sagari Gama Pani Sa Sani Sada Pagari Sa Sagari Gama Pani Sa Sani Sada Pagari Sa Yanta Mudu Yanta Sugasu Yanta Mudu. Or another such Vakra, complicated ragam that he created is Sindhu Kannada or Kesari, which goes like Samaga Mariga Ma Pada Pasa Sanidani Pabagari Sa Samaga Mariga Ma Pada Pasa Sanidani Pabagari Sa Nannu Kanna Talli Na Bhagyama. Or another such complex ragam that he created is Manjari, in which you know the song Patti Vidu Varadu Sagari Gama Panidani Sa Sanida Pabagari Sa. Here again you saw that the Arohanam was a very complex kind of a Vakra, whereas the Avarohanam took a straight Karahara Priya's scale. Then another ragam, Shenju Kambodi. Sapa Madani Sa Sanida Pabagari Sa. So very simple but a very thoughtful one. Sapa Madani Sa Sanida Pabagari Sa. We also see that for this beautiful Chittaswaram in this Ragam Vararagalaya was later added by G&B to make that Ragam's Lakshana more explicit. Now like this we see that in the 83 Ragams that Tyagaraja created, the Vinta Ragams, so many permutation combinations have been adopted. And I suppose after exhausting so many, he still wanted to create something really new and splendid for us. And that is how the Ragam Chittaranjani came about. Chittaranjani is nothing but the scale of Karahara Priya, like Sari Ga Ma Padani Nida Pabagari Sa. But what is very unique about this particular ragam is that the whole gamut of the ragam operates only between the Sarigama Padani Nida Pamagarisa of the Madhyasthai. This ragam will not move into the Mandrasthai or the Tarasthai. And he also created a very beautiful composition, Nada Tanumanisham Shankaram, where in the Charanam he has also defined the ragam beautifully as Sarigama Padani Varasata Swara. So the song itself gives you a complete indication that the whole song operates on these 7 notes of the Madhyasthai only. So that way we see that in every Vinta Ragam that Tyagaraja created, there was a beautiful thought process, and he is indeed a genius, I would say, in terms of creating so many new ragas and such beautiful compositions in them for us.
CM 365, all about Carnatic music.